Welcome to Real Life Investing. This is Al getting in contact with you guys. Going to be talking about Quant today. Bring on the fear, please, because I am hoping that Quant will drop just a little bit below 100. Maybe we get a little DCA in before it's too late. Remember what I told you guys earlier about September, especially the early part. I said in August, I said and also the early part of September. I've been constantly reiterating that over and over again. I said that the markets would probably be dipping during those times. I also mentioned that probably hopefully we shall see around the middle of September, um, where we may have a little bit of a quantitative easing and at least a 0.25 basis point cut. You know what I mean? So, but remember, whatever we say on the channel is not financial advice. However, if you like what you see today, we just ask you to like and subscribe to us. We are growing, and we just ask you to grow with us. Now, let's just go ahead and start looking at Quant real quick. Right here, you see Quant on the 1 day down by about 3% here, right at 100 almost, a little bit over. So let's go ahead and look to let's see, the 7 day where it's down 2%. For the month, Quant is down about 5%. And for the year, it's up for sure, up 65%. So just a heads up, guys, all of you that that are considering Quant, understand one thing, that it's been on the way up over the year. So as the year has progressed, Quant has come much further. So definitely it's on the way up, and it will be a good opportunity to catch it on its way up. But anyways, let's just go ahead and look a little bit as well. Don't forget that the total supply that we have circulating is just a tad bit over 12 million. And so Quant is still scarce. The market cap is just barely over a billion. So considering the fact that Quant is getting ready to operate with trillions of dollars with a T, I think we're in good standings. Now let's go ahead and look at the markets right now. Bitcoin is going to be at 109,000. So considering that, also Ethereum is dropped down a little bit to 4,300, still in the fours, so still standing strong, so to speak. Let's go ahead and look a little bit further. Bitcoin dominance is going to be 57.5%, Ethereum around 14%. So let's go ahead and keep it moving. Main thing is we're looking at where the alt season is and where it may be. So we know that we got a ways to go. Like I said, these next few weeks is going to, I hate to say it, but I think some people are going to get shaken out and they're going to be discouraged. And since it's the month of September, some people are just going to automatically think that things are supposed to turn around right away. But the fact is, we have not had any quantitative easing. We have not had anything as far as like to signal liquidity. So there's definitely going to be a lot of, how can I say, shaking out of the market. And we're probably going to see some really serious dips between now and September 17th. Not saying that we won't see any afterwards, but absolutely we're going to see plenty between now and September 17th. So keep that in mind. Let's go to the X site, look at some Quant information. So taking a look at what's going on, this is going to be CBOS. This is going to be the SWIFT, international, I guess, banking, etc. I was noticing, I did a little bit of study, and they said CBOS no longer stands for anything, but originally that's kind of what it stood for. Okay, so maybe I should just say the SWIFT, the financial SWIFT system is based on this event. CBOS is one of your largest, I think it is the largest banking and financial, how can I say, event in the world. So you're going to have more money there than anywhere else, period, point blank. So right here, we're just going to keep that in mind. Was that Tuesday? Let's see, September the 30th, 2025 in the Discover area. So this is definitely going to be a nice event. That's going to be in Frankfurt, Germany. So as Germany, we said before, is the heart of Europe as far as the financial center, and I believe the industrial center as well. So, but anyways, just a heads up on that. Germany is definitely hosting the event, and they're going to do a great job, I'm sure. Global markets, it says right here for Quant, handle roughly 50 trillion pounds worth of securities, yet the infrastructure powering these transactions would be recognizable to traders from the 1980s. Settlement still takes 2 days. Liquidity sits trapped in silos, and operational complexity drives costs. In other words, Quant is going to change all of that. So just a heads up on that. That is why Quant is so badly desired. Future of capital markets is programmable, interoperable, and significantly more efficient than what exists today. Absolutely. So expect Quant to be like many, many times more efficient than what we are currently seeing. So I think I want to keep it moving a little bit on the article information so we can kind of expedite the time of our video. This is some information right here about Gilbert Verdian, the founder and CEO of Quant, attending what's this Infin's FinTech. That's going to be, I think, it's going to be in October. So we'll talk more about that later. But let's just go ahead and look more about Quant right now. Going to the Quant website, do not forget the website, in my personal opinion, and my opinion does not count for all things, but in my personal opinion, I feel that the website is intentionally simple. I guess that's the best way to say it, where all they have on the website is a little bit of information, and then they have this link that says book a meeting. Like I said before, Quant is looking to book a meeting with corporations, with different entities, even international business or how can I say governments. So these guys are really dealing with the big time things. Not saying that they wouldn't deal with smaller individuals, but these guys are really up there on the high end of the echelon. So just a heads up on that with Quant. Now let's go ahead and look a little bit further, a little bit of Quant news if I can find it here. So crypto talks about how Quant climbs as Fusion, DevNet, and CBOS boost adoption outlook. Just going to read a little bit of that. We know Quant's down just a tad bit, but that's not too, how can I say, not too much to be alarmed about. So let's read this a little bit. It says Quant advances Fusion DevNet, targets banks with interoperability push. Quant recently confirmed the successful testing of its open source connector specification, which is a technical update for its Fusion DevNet. So mentions that these connectors were developed for major blockchain ecosystems like the Ethereum virtual machine, Hedera, and Sui networks, allowing seamless integration with Quant's unique layer 2.5 architecture. Beautiful. So in other words, they've been testing the system. It's working, and it's working for Ethereum virtual machine, Hedera, and it's also working for the Sui networks so far. So as far as it's concerned, it says our open source connector specification has trialed very successfully. Within days of releasing the specification, connectors for EVM, Hedera, and Sui have been built. Quant Fusion will support Quant's DLT, diagnostic data model. So, and DLT stands for distributed ledger technology. So distributed ledger technology. So just a heads up on what exactly is going on with this. So just a lot of great information for Quant. I think that we are seeing a company that is doing all the right things and before there's a possible takeoff. So a little bit more information talking about the ISO 20022 crypto, top list of compliant coins. Do not forget that Quant is on the list. They're not applying for the list. They are on the list. So just a heads up, realize Quant is already there. They're not trying, they're doing. Hey, don't steal that slogan, man. I think I'm going to try to use that later. All right, but anyways, let me keep it moving a little bit. Let's see. Now, with the Quant price. I'm looking at Quant, it's up to 101 from 100. I'm looking at this here. I'm not going to try to read too much into it. From what I can see on the tailing end, I'm not going to be able to make a whole lot of the chart, except the fact that I see that it appears to be on a downward trajectory for now, which I do not mind. I personally don't want to sound like someone who's, how can I say it, looking for bad things to happen. But I would not mind if Quant went below 100, at least for a little while, to be able to nibble a little bit, because anytime it's under 100, it's always a good bargain. So something to consider there. But let's keep it going just a tad bit more. Going back to the very beginning, we can see already that Quant is right here, definitely bullish. We know a lot of things are happening with Quant, but the main thing is that we understand that Quant is just getting started. I really don't know the full extent, even myself, of how much Quant is doing. But if you could tell right here on Coin Market Cap, Quant already has over 200,000 followers. Quant is already strong. Quant is already international from from both sides of the pond in the United States, very much needed with Oracle, etc. In Europe, very much needed with the digital euro and the digital pound. Quant is in demand all over the world, so to speak. So the only thing is a matter of time before Quant explodes. This is Al with Real Life Investing. Have a great one, and we'll definitely talk with you soon. Bye.
Please share, like, comment, and subscribe to Real Life Investing. And thank you for watching.